And I made a decision out of fear that affected the rest of my life. It set the trajectory of the next 13 years of my life. Now, God used it for very powerful things that I would never, ever take back. But I learned a huge lesson to never, ever make a choice based on fear.
The sun is coming up, are you ready to go? We can take a ride, we can take it slow. Yo.
We feel great.
I feel great right now.
Oh, I didn't even check, making sure that everyone's...
Paul, you're going to get us in an accident?
No, listen. Welcome to the Road to Self-Love. I'm your host, Paul Fishman. I'm an excellent driver. Any guests who are coming on, don't be worried.
Okay.
I'm here with Tracy Duhs. She is a wellness designer and just like the smartest person I know. I don't know that many people though. I'm just kidding.
Whoa.
And we are here. We're just gonna just like it's just all out of love. I'm so if this is your first time tuning in to the Road to Self-Love, we are literally and figuratively on the road to self-love. So we are driving around. We're going to do a little road trip. We're going to play some road trip games. We're going to get into Tracy's self-love journey. So Tracy, why don't you introduce yourself in a better way than I did?
Okay, yes. Let me introduce myself in a better way.
Or just introduce yourself.
My name is Tracy Duhs, not to be confused with duh or does.
Does.
Not to be imitated or recreated. The one, the only.
Boom, boom, boom.
Dues.
Wow.
Like pay your dues,
Yeah.
It's pay your dues.
But it is spelled like does.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, it's the weirdest name ever, but it's a good pen name. Whoa, we almost got in an accident right now. Hold up.
Hold up. Hold your horses. So, introduce yourself. You're a wellness designer. What exactly does that even mean?
Yeah, that's a really great question, Paul. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
Okay. What would I do? I call myself a wellness designer because I want to make wellness sexy again. Make it fun, make it sexy. I like to design, I like to create. I'm an artist by nature, but I'm also a scientist by nature. So I like to juxtapose the two together to make a beautiful tapestry. And I do that in individual lives and in corporations. I design wellness programs for people.
I love that. So, what is a wellness program?
Yeah, what's a wellness program? That's a really good question. So really what I like to do, it depends if I'm working with an individual at a wellness retreat or I'm working with a company that is wanting to incubate a new wellness program. It's going to look different. But the bottom line is I like to start at the cellular level, look at the cellular matrix. What is going on vibrationally, energetically, biochemically too, but mostly energetically, because bioenergetic medicine is the future of medicine, Paul.
I mean, I know all of these things. I'm just all of these words you're using, I think we need to break them down a little bit,
Okay,
So, first of all, I'm curious, what even is wellness? We hear that word thrown around a lot.
You're right.
But what even is wellness?
Okay, that's a really good question. So, I feel like in America, this is my opinion, but I feel that in America, we've, over the last 100 years, tended to focus on, or whatever, longer than that probably, allopathic medicine, right?
What's allopathic?
Allopathic is our traditional Western medicine. You go to a white coat doctor, they check your biochemistry, they test, your blood and your urine to see what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And then, accordingly, they'll say, we either need to cut this out of your body, we need to give you this medication, we need to, whatever, some sort of medicine that goes along with our allopathic medical textbook, standards.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not really wellness. That's like emergency medicine when someone's already sick.
Yeah.
So what I like to focus on is preventative care, helping people live their optimum like live their life at the optimum level. So I optimize wellness for people.
Oh, okay, I like that word, optimize.
Yeah, so that means like looking at you, like we'd look at your body and say like, you're a healthy young man, very good looking, just, you know, what can we do with you? Yeah. But let's optimize you. Like, let's take you and make you the super bionic Paul, you know? Let's like get you what's in the way? You know, we like to find the obstacles for health and then get those out of the way. That's it. You know, like what's preventing you from being at your optimum level?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've had multiple sessions together. So Tracy owns a place called the Sanctuary Wellness Experience here in San Diego. And
Let's go to the cliffs.
Okay, let's go to the cliffs.
Let's go to the cliffs.
And she offers so many different services, and I just remember going in and being so like excitingly overwhelmed by all of the things that she does. She was like, just choose one thing to do today. And I was like, how about I want to do all of them? Right. So, you know, we're talking about wellness in itself, and we're talking about what you do, which I think is really, really powerful because you get it super individualized. And I that's what I really, really love about you, because you're a wellness designer for individuals. And when we talk about self-love, the self is the individual.
Absolutely.
So that's what really gets me excited about what you're doing. So let's just spend more time on me, because you know I love talking about myself.
I like to talk about you too.
So
let's talk about you.
Yeah, let's talk about like the wellness design that you had like started to create for someone like me who is relatively like conscious and aware. You
Watch
know,
out
like,
for the car.
I saw it, and just like, what is it? What are the first steps to maybe someone who doesn't live in San Diego, who is able to like start really optimizing their health and wellness, who like maybe can't afford a wellness designer?
Okay, that's a really great question. So, through my research, I've uncovered something that really surprised me. I thought that wellness, really, the most important thing was what I was eating, what I was drinking, exercising. I mean, you know, that my path, I thought that's what it was, until I started into my PhD program, in which focused more on quantum physics, the subatomic level, where you're not actually looking at the physical. And I realized our thoughts, like, how did I not understand this before? The thoughts, they have this frequency that it's so incredibly powerful. It has the ability to shift our biochemistry in an instant. And so somebody who's wanting to get well, I would say really harness the power of your thoughts.
Ooh, that's so beautiful. So how can someone just do this? Like, you know, any person listening to this, maybe who hasn't ever thought about thoughts and harnessing them, like what is something that they can easily do every day?
Yeah. So one thing that really shifted everything for me was the moment I woke up, starting to just journal what my thoughts were, so I could take inventory, because a lot of times our beginning thoughts set the path for the rest of our day, right? So if you're waking up anxious, like, oh my gosh, here's this list of things I have to do, or blah, 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 or your like major insecurities or your major fears, and your blood pressure's raising, you know, you're gonna jump out of bed and your day has been set with that. So one thing that helped me was to wake up and journal honestly, what are the first things that are scrolling through my mind right now?
I love that. I've actually started doing that too. And I use the 5-minute journal, which has been really helpful for me, because it's the gratitude practice, and then you also write 3 things that would make today amazing, and also you have like an abundance statement, or just a statement. So I am, because I totally agree with you. Thoughts are key, and it's so easy to get tied up and lost in those thoughts.
So easy.
Yeah. So.
And so much of it's subconscious. Bruce Lipton stated that we are probably 95% of the time living in our subconscious mind. And only 5% in our actual conscious mind. So that subconscious programming that you were programmed with from the time you were in utero, a little zygote, until you're about 6 or 7, your brain was in beta, absorbing everything at the highest level, and that's your subconscious programming. So to change it is it's a lot of work.
Yeah,
It's not something you can just say, I just want to change this thought or this feeling. You have to have the desire and set the intention, but then it's going to take the work.
Yep.
And that's, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but where the self-love really comes in is being committed to doing that work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I 100% agree with you. And I have like a story that I wanted to share that when I was growing up, my mom has always been really in tune with this, or at least in tune with the idea of telling other people. I can't speak, it's harder to practice what you preach. And
Of course.
Whenever us as little kids, we would have a sore throat, she'd be like, well, what do you need to say right now?
Mm-hmm.
What's something that you need to say? Because it always, like what hit me when you were talking is because we're living in our subconscious, our throat can tend to get sore and get open
so
for like
true.
the energetics of disease to come in.
Yes.
Because we're not speaking our truth or not saying stuff, and this can also like move into this whole concept of when I wasn't speaking my truth through my story and was 75 pounds overweight, and the second that I released myself from the chains of other people's expectation, I lost 20 pounds in 2 weeks because I was just like emotional weight that just fell off of me. So if you can take anything as a listener from this, just know that like what your thoughts are really important, not only for your internal health and wealth, but your external as well.
Yeah.
And I love that practice, and I would love to know in the comments, or screenshot this and share it on Instagram, tagging both of us. I'll leave our Instagram handles on the video and in the show notes. Let us know if this is something that you're going to commit to doing, because we want to celebrate your success.
I want to celebrate your success too.
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh,
Celebrate.
Well, I think that now is the perfect time for our first road trip game.
Uh-oh.
Now, So
You're scaring me.
Don't you worry. So Tracy, along with being a wellness designer for just like peasants like me, she also works with a lot of celebrities and famous people. So I thought that this would be...
doesn't tell people that.
Oh, why?
I don't know.
I think own it that the celebrities want to work with you. Well, anyway, I can cut that part out if you want me to. But what I want to play the famous game.
Okay.
And how this works is I'm going to let you start, Tracy, and you're going to say the name of someone famous. It doesn't have to be someone that you work with.
Okay.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with all of us, all of the millions of people that are listening and watching this. And then I have to say the name of another celebrity whose first name starts with the first letter of the last name of the person that you named. Does that make sense?
The last name starts?
Yeah. So, for instance, if you said like Marlon Brando, I would say Bradley Cooper, and then you would have to say someone whose first name started with a C.
Oh goodness, this is gonna be hard.
Well, that's the point. We're supposed to. It's just gonna be fun. So we're gonna do our best to say like really quick.
Okay.
And, okay. So
This
do
is
you
gonna be
want to
hard,
start?
Okay, sure. Cameron Diaz.
Donny Osmond.
Oh God, you're giving me an O?
Yeah.
Okay. Ozzy Osbourne.
You're giving me an O.
Throwing it right back at you.
Oh, I know. Oscar the Grouch.
Okay. Oscar the Grouch. Okay. Let's see. Who do I want to say? It starts with a G.
Time is ticking, Tracy.
I know. I'm like, I have this name in my head, Greg Lopez, for some reason.
Greg Lopez,
yeah.
sure. I mean, we might need some fact checkers. If you're watching this on YouTube, in the comments, can you Google Greg Lopez for us? Okay, so Leslie Graham. I'll give you another G. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Why am I not doing good with the G's right now?
I don't know.
Gwyneth Paltrow.
There we go. Paul Fishman. Oh, wait. Me?
Okay. Paul Fishman. Oh, where are we going?
We're going
We
on
need to get our...
Oops.
We are headed into Spay War right now.
Gotta turn this boat around.
Oh, there's a cop coming after you right now. The U.S.
there's
Navy
not.
Police. The U.S. Navy Police coming after
No,
Paul
they're not.
Fishman right now.
You're stalling. You're stalling.
Okay. Frederick Fekkai.
That's a stretch, but I'm gonna say Freddie Mercury.
Oh, okay. Freddie Mercury. Okay.
We've been going at this really, really long, and I'm really proud of you, Tracy. I'm really, really proud of you.
Melanie Griffith.
Another G, huh? Greg Shapiro.
Greg Shapiro.
I'm gonna say that I lost that round. Okay. You guys, that was so much fun. Tracy, thanks for, playing that and being so, letting me lose. That's really thoughtful of you.
Okay.
I tend to always let my guests win, by the way, so don't feel special.
Oh, darn it. I wanted to feel special today.
Okay. So, I want to take this a little bit deeper, and I want to hear a little bit more about your story, because we've talked about where you are now, but of course, you weren't always a wellness designer. You've had a lot of success prior to this. You were a model. You had a modeling agency. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. See, I knew it. And you also just were this. And then you also came from a very modest upbringing as a preacher's daughter. So I'd love to know just your
missionary kid.
Oh yeah, you're a missionary kid.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your upbringing and how that's really shaped your career, and just I'd love to know all of it.
Wow, how did my upbringing shape my career? That's very interesting. Well, it created a lot of drive in me. Growing up and eating beans and rice and nothing else. Beans and rice didn't miss me for sure. I grew up with a lot of dreams and excitement. I was really excited about what I could create when I was gonna grow up. I used to watch Star Search, and I really believed I was gonna be on Star Search. I needed to be on there.
Yep. Same.
Yeah. With Ed McMahon,
I know.
I needed to be on that show. And so I'd practice and make up dances and, try to get my brother involved with me, which he was not having it. And he was like, what is wrong with my sister? She's got issues. But my dad always believed in me. He was like, yeah, if you want to be on that show, if you want to be a star, a superstar, you can do that, right? And so I don't know. I just had dreams that whatever I wanted to create in life, I could create it. And
that's so powerful.
Yeah, and I really owe that to my dad and my mom, who really just never stifled that. It's yeah, you want to do that? Do it.
Do it. I love that.
Do it.
So I think that this is a really, really important message, that just like what we were talking about before, your thoughts and your subconscious, but also as a child, a lot of that is shaped by your parents.
Oh, yeah.
It's shaped by the things that you're going through in your life. So parents, if you're listening, and even kids, if you're listening, now is the opportunity to really just break through and know that you can absolutely have whatever you've wanted in your life, and it's really, really important to do that. And you actually have two girls of your own. So do you find that raising them, have you really brought that mentality into your household, or what are some things you've done to raise your girls in that kind of light?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Whenever they want to dream, I get excited with them. Let's go dream together. Let's talk. Go make a picture of it. Whatever they want to do, I get excited with them, because I just know how powerful that was in my life and how it shaped my mind, how I really felt limitless. I mean, I felt so limitless that I believed I could do anything because of what they instilled in me. I mean, my dad was like, you know, I wanted to be a doctor, and when I was 15, I started going to pre-med, and he sent me on a trip at 15 years old to go to Guatemala and work in an indigenous village on the top of a inactive volcano, doing surgery, giving shots, doing medical work. I mean, at 15, my dad was like, yeah, that's what you want to do, be a doctor? Let's let you get immersed in it.
Amazing. So at 15, you went on this trip to be like a doctor because that's what your dreams were, and your parents were very supportive of that.
Yeah, I got over the Star Search thing real fast.
Yeah,
I realized,
fast.
I don't know.
You wanted to
I'm going to help people.
Yeah, I love
and
that.
And I don't know if wearing this pretty dress and curls in my hair and, you know, dancing on stage is really, how is that really going to help people?
So
It can make people smile. But I had a different purpose.
Amen to that. You know, I think that finding your purpose is really powerful. And I think the beauty of finding your purpose is that you find that the things that you truly love come back into your life.
Yeah, that's true.
Because like you've been doing a lot of promotion work for a lot of your wellness stuff that you've been doing, and that gets you in front of the camera, that gets you to do some sort of performance,
yeah,
which might not fit into this exact like box that Star Search is, but I've really enjoyed like experiencing that in my life. So, but I want to take a little step back into, you know, raising children.
Okay.
And there's been a lot of talk about the generations that are coming up right now, kind of with the idea that they can have anything.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it's kind of like almost negatively affecting them in the workforce. So how do you feel about that conversation? Because as someone who's raising her kids as like, you can do anything is possible, do you like, what are your thoughts on all of that?
Wow, that's a really loaded question. So we're really talking about like entitlement too, basically like, oh, you can have everything, you can do anything, let's just throw it in your lap. I really, with my daughters, make them work for whatever they're gonna have. I mean, it's like, let's scrub the floor together, let's, you know, they have chores that they have to do around the house, we make dinner together. I'm not doing everything for them. They gotta learn responsibility, and I love that word, responsibility, because it empowers me. I'm not a victim anymore. I have the ability to respond to any situation, and when I own my own responsibility, I'm not a victim to anything that happens in my life. So really teaching my daughters about responsibility, taking responsibility for themselves.
That is amazing. That is amazing. So responsibility is key.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to their dreams and their aspirations and all this stuff, like, where do you think you draw the line? Do you ever draw the line, or just say you can do whatever you want?
Well, I do let them know, you know, whatever you want to do, you have the ability to do it. Is it going to be the best thing for you? Is that, you know, is this dream in this moment the best thing for you? You don't know, but I think it's very healthy to dream, extremely healthy to dream, and then put one foot in front of the other, move forward and see where that goes, but not just expecting it to drop into your lap. I'm going to sit here and meditate and manifest this into my life. I mean, it takes work, hard work, tenacity, you know, blood, sweat, and tears to get to where you want to be. And there's no one else that's going to do it for you. Even my parents couldn't do that for me. They could cultivate those dreams in my heart and help them grow by watering them and feeding them. But ultimately, I had to do the work. I had to go to school every day. When I started college at 15, I was taking 21 units a semester, all science units. They weren't able to go take the tests for me. You know, my mom helped me by making dinners. My dad helped me by driving me to college because I didn't have a license. But yeah, they helped to be that support system, but ultimately I had to do the work.
Yeah. So I'm sure, just like I am, everyone's wondering, college at 15, how is this a thing? Like, walk us through how that all happened.
Yeah, so back then, I think a lot more people do homeschooling now, but back then, my mom wanted to homeschool us, and I really didn't like being homeschooled because I'm more of like a social person. I wanted to be with my friends at school. And so I was like, screw this. I'm going to work really hard. So I started setting my alarm for 5 o'clock every morning and just basically went through all of my coursework really fast. I was so driven to get out of the house with my 3 younger brothers. That was my motivation. But then again, I had to do the work, right? Yeah. I couldn't just be like, Mom, I don't want to be homeschooled. Like, whatever. I'm going to go to Star Search and run away. Well, I tried that too. But I didn't get very far, you know, because when you're 5 and you can't cross streets, I got 1 block away. Yeah, I ran out of snacks and I had to come home. Yeah. So I realized quickly, man, I got to do the work. So yeah, so then, you know, I basically tested out at the time I was 15 and started college, and it was awesome. That
makes sense. Now, I just thought that you were like a very, very you did overachieve, but now that I know it was the homeschooling, so you had the ability to do that.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is so cool. I love our conversation because we've talked about so many different things. If there's like one thing, like what do you want the Tracy Duhs legacy to be?
Oh, wow. That's
I know, I've got all these huge questions. You're like, I'm still figuring it out.
Wow, okay. The Tracy Duhs legacy. Well, here's the thing. I've been thinking about this because we do want to think about our funeral, you know, like what people are going to say and stuff. And I realized at my funeral, I don't want anyone to be talking about me. I don't want it to be about anything about me. I just want the vibrational frequency of love that my mission is to put out into the world, that it's going to create a ripple effect and someone's going to feel love and then love another person and another person. And the world is going to be, you know, the people that I touch, their lives are going to be richer. And at my funeral, they're going to be talking about their lives and the things that are beautiful in their lives. And so I don't know, I guess I'm a different type of person in the sense that I don't really want to have a legacy where anybody has anything to say about me. It's all about them and what was created in their life.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but that's a legacy. So, nice trying to dodge that question. But yeah, I love that legacy that you want to just spread love. That's beautiful. And it might feel indirect at times, but it's very direct. And I love seeing all the things you're doing and really just growing these amazing relationships. Something else that Tracy said to me before as we were talking is that she's really conscious about who she aligns with, because as a light worker, which I think that you are, as a light worker, it's really easy to have people just want to work with you nonstop, but really being conscious of who you want to bring into your life. And this is something that I talk to my clients in my self-love coaching program a lot, because as we shift our mindset and we shift our life to really be about like choosing us first and like that cultivation of devotion to our individuality, people start to notice.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, like, if there's someone who really resonates with your story, what are like three tips that you can give to them that really are going to help them stay true to their path and not get pulled to the dark side?
Wow, Paul, I like that question. That's a really good question, because especially recently, I've had to turn down some dream opportunities because something inside of me, just my gut told me this, it didn't feel right. And I'm learning to trust my gut so much more, right? So I would say that your gut knows, your intuition, your cells know, and they are speaking to you. Your gut knows before your brain even knows, so you will feel something. So if you can start to get into that somatic response and really get in touch with your body and start, I think that's where meditation's big, because when you're meditating, you're not talking, you're just able to feel inside your body what's going on and really get connected. And a lot of times when we know something's not right, we'll feel it. Some people feel a tension in their stomach or tightness in their muscles. And really listen to that, because everything has a frequency to it. I mean, our physical matter starts with vibrational frequency, and that's creating our reality. And so if there's dissonance in the field, or there's some sort of dissonance around you, or it's not right, you're going to feel it. And so we've got to be more in touch with it. So I think that would be one of my top.
I really like that.
Thanks.
And I have to share that it's so hard for me to sometimes like listen to my gut fully, because there are some opportunities, like you said, that have come my way as well, and I'm just like, oh my God, is this even happening right now?
Yeah.
But then like and then it's hard to wade through if it's really like the whole thing where the universe gives you what you want, but then makes it extra challenging to make it happen, to see if like you actually want to fight for it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that me needing to fight for it, or is it really like me being protected? Like I don't, it's so hard to wade through it. So
to know. I
think to layer upon that is just give yourself permission to start feeling, and you don't have to know right away. I really love, whenever I get an email, I do my best to give it like 12 to 24 hours to like sink in and resonate.
That's great.
I'm so
much wisdom.
Go. Listen, I could preach it all I want, but practicing it, like, I don't know. So it's just this whole thing where we have to be so conscious. Our body does know, because like you said, energetically, everything has a frequency. And that's why, just circling back to the mind and the thoughts that we have, if you want something so bad, you can seriously manifest it just by like resonating and thinking about it always. And the thing is that it might not always be positive that you're thinking about. So that's why positivity is key.
Yeah, that's so true, Paul. I like that, how you give it 12 to 24 hours. I do that with shopping.
Oh, I don't do that with shopping.
Whenever I want something, I walk away from it. I have learned that the most powerful thing in my life is to walk away from the things that I want and really get in touch with why I want it and what are my true motives. And when I've started to do that in my life, with everything, with relationships, with whether I'm at the store wanting to buy something, a purchase, being able to walk away from it and really ask myself the hard questions has been so powerful.
Yes.
It has been transformative, really.
Oh, we just need to sit in that for a second.
Walk away.
Walk away.
To be able to walk away.
Walk away from that. That is...
Discipline. I mean, it takes discipline, right?
Yeah. Especially when it's like, I don't know. I've been, there's this opportunity that I'm doing, and I was so excited to find out about it, and parts of me are just like, why is this happening? Like, why'd they choose me? I'm so excited, but like at the same time, like there's so much in my brain that's just like, it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. You should have waited. You should have thought about it. You should have, and all these shoulds. And we know that I do not like that word should, because it inflicts shame. Yeah. But I get that, and I think that is really, really, really cool, because if it's truly meant to be, it'll still be there.
Yes, absolutely. And what I've found is that when it comes back to me, it comes back even stronger and more powerful. When I am able to have that self-discipline to walk away, check my motives, get inside myself, and really understand it. Because what's the one thing that's not allowing me to walk away is usually fear. And fear has never produced good results, or the results that I am wanting in my life. Right. I have a really powerful story actually about that. I was dating this guy when I was 21, and he really wanted to marry me. I mean, just really, I want to marry you, I want to marry you, I want to marry you. And I said, no, I don't want to marry you. I walked away for 30 days, didn't talk to him. Really was able to get in touch with what was going on inside. Then he came back even stronger, full force. And inside, I felt unsure. I didn't know what I really wanted. During that time, I still hadn't come to a clear resolution. But I ended up talking to him after 30 days, because that was our agreement. And when we did talk, he was really using a lot of fear tactics. Like, well, if you don't want to be with me, my mom's trying to set me up with this other gal, this other blind date kind of thing. Like, setting up a thing of like, well, if you don't want me, somebody else will. And I remember in that moment I felt fear. I don't know if it was conscious or subconscious, but I was like, okay, fine, I think, yeah, let's try this. And I made a decision out of fear that affected the rest of my life. It set the trajectory of the next 13 years of my life. Now, God used it for very powerful things that I would never, ever take back. But I learned a huge lesson to never, ever make a choice based on fear.
I just got the goosebumps. Wow. Wow. So, to translate this, so you ended up marrying him, yes?
I did.
And then you had your 2 girls.
I did.
So,
which is the most beautiful gift from it.
Yes. And now you've stepped away from that marriage and you're in this completely different space. But listen, I'm stopping the car. I'm looking right in the mirror. Fear can be a compass.
Yeah.
However, it's really, really powerful, like Tracy said, to take a step back and know your why. I think that is, but at the same time, it's so hard to know at such a young age, like what even is fear. So that's why I love the opportunity to share these conversations with people like you, is so that hopefully your story can empower so many people to rethink these decisions that they're making. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Yeah, don't ever make a decision out of fear. That was such a huge lesson. But also, I want to reiterate that we're all going to make, and I don't even want to call it a mistake, we're going to make choices that are going to send us down a certain path. But I do trust that it's all meant to be, and we need to let go of this illusion that it could have been any different than it is. That's all an illusion.
Yeah.
Because then we look back and we have regrets, and that's where it takes away from the power of our stories. Like, no regrets. That needed to happen. It needed to happen to make me who I am today, and I am grateful for all of it. Was it painful? Was there points in my life where I just felt like I couldn't even go on anymore? Absolutely. The pain is like this intense. There's nothing more painful than emotional pain. Would you agree?
Oh, absolutely.
I've had my insides cut out. I had a cesarean. Didn't take any pain pills. Pain, physical pain, like, no problem. This emotional pain brought me to my knees on multiple occasions for many, many years. And it's a pain you can't even, describe. But would I take it back? No. Because that's all an illusion that I could.
I love that. Wow. Okay, Tracy, I just have 2 more questions for you. And I ask this question to all of my guests. What does self-love mean to you?
Oh, self-love, what does it mean to me? I think circling back to kind of what we had talked about, self-love to me is really listening to the signals inside my body. Asking myself the deep questions of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and being true to follow through with what I know is right. And sometimes we don't even really know, right? Like, it could be, I'm not really sure what to do, but in that moment, being able to take a step back if you're not sure, and sometimes just surrender.
Ooh, I love that. I say this every time, but everyone's definition of self-love is so different, and it's so cool. I love that so much. So my final question for you is, how can, if people are listening or watching, how can people connect with you? Just share all the ways.
Okay. Well, I'm here in Ocean Beach at the Wellness Center, the Sanctuary Wellness Center. And so if you'd love to meet me in person, I am there doing bioenergetic scans of people's bodies, all your organs and glands, and we can balance you out, see what your body specifically needs, whether it's sound healing or whether it's nutritionals, whatever you need, we can customize a program just for you by scanning your body bioenergetically and seeing what's happening with you specifically, just like we did with you,
Yeah,
Paul.
I've had it done. It's very cool.
It is really cool. It's the future of medicine. It's really true preventative care.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to see what's happening in your morphogenetic field, which is the blueprint of your body. So if the blueprint's off, we need to fix the plans because they're going to create the actual cells.
Amazing.
The DNA. This is what we call epigenetics. We're above genetics now because we're realizing that our vibrational frequency is actually putting our morphogenetic field in tune or out of tune, and that's the blueprint of our body.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able to assess that through bioenergetic medicine and see what's going on and how we can optimize you. About optimizing.
Sign me up. That's so cool.
So you can meet me there, or I'm on Instagram. We can be friends.
What's your Instagram handle?
It's my name, Tracy Duhs, TracyDuhs.
And don't worry, I'll leave this in the description box and the show notes if you're listening on iTunes. And then Sanctuary Wellness also has its own
Instagram, yeah.
Instagram, Sanctuary Wellness SD, right?
It's actually the Sanctuary SD.
Got it. Well,
Yeah.
I was close.
You were close.
I was close.
Very close.
Well, Tracy, thank you so much for joining me on the road to self-love. We're about at our destination of true self-love and compassion. It's been such a joy driving around with you. So if you are here with us for the first time, please, if you're listening on iTunes, rate and review. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like, comment, share. Make sure to subscribe. I upload a new episode every week, and I'm so excited to have you join us on the road to self-love. So until next time, remember, you are worth it.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Oh, yeah.
And you are not alone. We'll see you next time on the road to self-love.
Very good.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Thanks, Paul, for
you.
having me.